Welcome back to Healthy Through Knowledge. Andreas Schauffert, my name. This is Irina. Welcome back. Thank you for coming. We are going to talk about health. As you know, Healthy Through Knowledge will guide you through all health issues. And this is the only channel you can find unbiased facts. Unbiased facts and facts you will never hear from other people. Why will you not hear them? Because most of the people, they don't know that life is very, very complicated. And even the slightest mistake you make in life might have a dramatic impact on your life, on your health, on your consciousness. That's why we are talking about anything, psychological effect on our health, the effect on food on our health, the effect of emotions on our health, the effect of our environment on our health. All these topics we are going to cover. Last time we talked about the food. You remember?
Yeah.
Did you practice?
Yes, I practiced. There is a list of food. You said, okay, don't touch these, like the groundnuts, cassava. I know that banana I've not tested.
Matoke. Bananas are fine. Unripe bananas are called matoke in Uganda.
Yes.
They eat, I don't know who gave them that funny idea. It's a very funny idea because no other place on the planet I have met that would eat unripe fruit. There's no other place. At least I don't know another place. So I don't know how they came up with that idea. Let me just mention, why is matoke so bad? We said already it's unripe. So unripeness in general causes serious issues. This applies for peas, fruits, beans, grain, because some people in these days, instead of eating the grain, they are drinking the wheat juice.
Yeah.
Which is a bit a weird thing to do because it's not ready. So most of the things have to be ready. In a pea, they have to be dry and crack open. Then they are ready to eat for consumption.
Okay.
That's number one. Matoke, because it's not ready, has resistant starch. That's why most people, when they eat matoke, they feel very tired afterwards because a lot of energy goes into the digestion. Has to digest it, which is very hard because it's not ready to be digested, the starch. Second, because it needs to put in a lot of energy, it also gives a lot of acid. And that acid, many people I have talked to here, they get a heartburn or a chest burn.
Oh, yes.
You can agree with that. So this is number two. And then you have a headache because the energy is mainly focusing down here. People feel tired, and most of the people get a serious headache within approximately half an hour. Is that true?
Yeah.
So,
as you're talking, I'm evaluating.
Yes, yes. Now, tell us a bit your stories, because you said you were strict this week, but you told us some other stories, you felt very tight. Just tell us the stories, the experiences you made.
Oh my God. Okay. Mostly we've grown up eating matoke.
Yes.
So recently in quarantine, we've been having matoke on a daily. Because matoke has been cheaper than any other food.
True.
So we've been having it on a daily. So last time I was talking to him and I told him, I always feel exhausted, like tired, even when I've not done much. Because sometimes all I do is spend the day at home. It's not me doing the chores because we divide them. That day I'm basically free, watching TV. And at the end of the day, I am so exhausted after dinner. I am so exhausted, but we always have matoke and rice, matoke and something. It's always matoke and something else. So when I told him, he told me it was matoke, I was shocked. Like I feel every part of me paining.
Okay.
Like, when you do heavy work and when you take a rest, you feel that pain in most of your joints. That's exactly how I was feeling. And then I told the people I was with, I feel tired. Every part of my body, I always tell them, every part of my body is complaining. I don't know what I did. Sometimes I think it's just every week I experience a headache.
for 2 days.
Yeah, sometimes it can stay for 2 days. It can stay for a whole day. Like, I say, let me take a lot of water and all that, but I had never noticed that maybe some effects come from the food I eat.
Now, dear viewers, think about that. If the effects of bad food are so dramatic, why is there no warning issued by the Ministry of Health? They are warning us alcohol. In Europe, they are warning us for all kinds of stuff. Tobacco, alcohol, all kinds of stuff we are warned of. But nobody warns you of unhealthy food. Do you know why? You don't know why? I am not sure, but I think the reason is this. Most of the scientists, we believe, we have no proof for that, they know what's going on. They for sure know, they have to know. But they don't tell us. And if you if you do some research on Google, you will hardly find anything. You can find it, but you really have to look hard for it. It's hard to find. For cabbages, for example, you cannot find really intense information how bad cabbages are for you. Cassava, you can find. We found that quite easily. Irish potatoes, you cannot find, except on the nightshady plants. You find some issues that all nightshady plants, that means potatoes, tomatoes, eggplants, artichokes, which you don't have here in Uganda, aubergine is also an eggplant, and all peppers and some other legumes. You can find stuff about nightshady plants, but very, very little you find. So what could be the reason for that? According to us, we believe the reason for this is that the system we have currently needs sick people. The second largest market, besides the sales of arms for war, the second largest market on the planet is what? Pharma. That's the second largest market. And you can clearly see that headache, you run to the pharmacy, you buy a painkiller. Rheumatism, you run to the doctor, he will describe you anti-rheumatism. Stuff like that. Arthritis, all of this, you run to the pharmacy or to the doctor. Without sick people, doctors, hospitals, health ministry would be jobless. Just take that into consideration and always try to see who profits off the system. The system doesn't want healthy people. No way. Because then hospitals would be empty. Thousands and hundreds of thousands of unemployed would flood the market, would be a serious issue also for the government. Health insurance is not necessary because we know what we do. You can control your life. Sometimes you fall ill, yes, for sure, but I can assure you, if you follow these food recommendations, you will recover very quickly.
And you will limit the illnesses because some are easy to do away with.
Absolutely. Then there's another thing. These bad foods, they make us very heavy. When you walk, I haven't eaten bad food, but when I look how people are walking, they are not really enjoying walking. No, they are like carrying a heavy burden. And when you start eating good food, high energetic food, you will see a big difference in your activity, in your mental activity even, and the way you're going to move. A big, big difference. We are going to show you now a video of a young, strong man, two strong men. One man, he drank cassava leaf tea. That tea, you will see on the video, destroyed him completely. He was almost paralyzed. And almost paralyzed, you can see it on the video. He was almost paralyzed. What kind of problem did you have?
In the beginning.
Yeah, when you came. You came with a stick, I remember.
Yes.
So what was the problem?
I don't know my problem. My leg started to feel a lot of pain.
Okay.
I don't know what is the problem.
Okay.
I came with a stick. I not manage running.
Uh-huh.
I not manage to walk with speed.
Uh-huh.
I came with a stick. If I reach here,
Uh-huh.
you bring it medicine.
Uh-huh.
If I finish to use it,
Uh-huh. We gave you 1 teaspoon only.
one teaspoon.
Yes. Okay.
And use it your machine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So why do you think you had that problem? Because you are a young, strong man. Why do you think it happened to you? But what about that cassava leaf?
Cassava leaf, I eat it. I eat cassava leaf
Uh-huh.
and matoke.
No? What happened after the cassava leaf? How did you feel in your
I
stomach?
feel a pain in the stomach.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then when did the pain come in your leg?
After use it cassava leaf,
Uh-huh.
I feel a pain in the stomach.
Uh-huh.
After 1 day,
Uh-huh.
my leg
Uh-huh.
is pain.
Cassava is damaging the nervous system, huh? So that might be an effect of the cassava. So you said that you're going to change, or you want to suffer, continue suffering?
I'm going to change.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to eat cassava.
Okay. So now speak just in Luganda, few sentences.
Kati najja wano okugulu nga kunnuma nga mpulira bulinga ntambulira ku muggo naye bwe natuuka wano dokita nampa eddagala bwe yamala olimpa oluvannyuma lw'eddakiika 15 ne mpulira nga okugulu nga kujja nga kunanuuka bwe kuti ne nsituka ne ntambula era yali miracle y'amaanyi nnyo.
Bevale nnyo. Now you wonder why are people not thinking about these implications? Because nobody talks about it.
Oh, yeah.
Now we talked about it, now you are sensitized.
Oh, yes.
But because nobody talks about it, you don't care.
We would always feel maybe it's something else.
Yes.
You go to the doctor, they will tell you maybe you're sick, you have such and such an infection.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another good point you're bringing now. What I found out, so according to my experience over the last few years, I've noticed that all these low energy bad food, they are carriers of pathogenic organisms. If people stop eating, their infections, their inflammations will disappear. If you go to a regular doctor, he will give you anti-inflammatory drugs, or he will try to treat the infection with an antibiotic.
Oh, yes.
But it's not an infection. It's not a true bacterial infection. It's an infection caused by a being which is carrier of the infection. So this is another very, very important thing. And then the next thing, we tapped that in the first one. We talked about mental issues. When you eat wrong food, what's going to happen to your mental state? And they remember in that study, they mentioned.
Yes, they mentioned that cassava causes brain injury.
Yes, what they don't know, these people, because they said it is incurable, which is not true, because I can prove that with videos. You can, even serious damages can be healed, sometimes within minutes, if you know how to do it. And most cases are not lost. Even up to a higher age, you can still recover, if as long you follow the food.
Yeah, you change.
Yes, and that's another important lesson. Life is full of consequences, and people don't take that seriously. It's not my problem, you know. People suffer by themselves, and life is trying to teach them a lesson because they are not following the rules.
Oh, yes.
You should not eat unripe fruit. I don't know. In Europe, we are brought up like this as children. You don't eat unripe fruit. That's one of our first lessons we get. So if you don't follow that rule, you will be corrected by life. You will get a pain, or you feel whatever, and life will try to correct you. So life is full of consequences, and as I started in the beginning, if we don't live these consequences, we have to face the effects of it. That's how it is, and you cannot avoid it. You can try to cover them up by taking drugs, but in the end it will break through and it will ruin your life. So first of all, we need to know the laws of life. Then we have to apply our knowledge into action.
Oh, yes.
If we don't do that, it's useless. Even knowledge is useless.
Yeah. Because when you're going to get those infections, they will not excuse you that maybe you were ignorant about some things. No. Ignorance is no excuse. So ignorant or not, as long as you don't follow the guidelines, you will suffer the consequences.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are going to show you in a video a person who had suffered from sluggishness, no energy, lethargy, no thrive. And then he came to know us and he said, yeah, you don't have to give us the food list, I'm not interested, I will anyway not stop eating matoke. That's what he said. You can watch it then, I will introduce it. And then you see what he's going to say, what happened to him just by changing the food. Come back to the show.
Yeah.
Tell us your story, please. What's your name?
My name is Ambazila Mohammed.
And your profession?
I'm a veterinary worker.
Then what was your issue?
My issue, when I came to treat the animals, I talked to your wife at Malakai Ecology about my body condition. So my body condition, I was feeling some fatigue of the body. Since I'm moving up and down. So now I've been practicing the veterinary work for about 7 years. So now my body has not been rested at all. So the body could feel some fatigue. Actually, I was even terming it as depression. So now I could keep on going to the hospitals. They could just check on me. They could explain that I've got infection. They could not specify which type of infection. So they could just give me the injection, specifically of gentamicin, cephalaxin, so I could just get some relief for about 5 days or 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, I go back in the same condition of like feeling depressed and then fatigue. I could not work. I could work for just 1 hour. So even I could wake up in the morning when I am very tired, such that I could not even work for the whole day.
Okay.
So now I went on to these herbalists. So I visited so many herbalists in Uganda, giving me some immune boosters. Even the immune boosters could work for like 5 to 2 weeks. And then after that period, then I could go back in the same condition. And it has been for a long time, like for about 3 years. But
5 years, you said
yes,
before.
5 years. But now, Madame Janet explained to me about her products she has, that they are like food, and even they are like medicinal. And then I tried one. It was called ill mixture. When I took that ill mixture for about 4 days, then my body could just get better. So I started working. Even I worked 24 hours.
Don't over-exaggerate.
Without resting, but without feeling any pain at all. Even I could just get more vigor.
But you said...
and even I gained some weight. It's because my weight could rise up from 72 kilos up to now. I'm now at 78 kilos. And even I'm feeling more vigor and more health.
You said something interesting. We wanted to give you the food list, and then you said, no, don't give it to me, because I will anyway not change because of matoke. What happened in this direction?
In fact, I like matoke so much. It's because it is my preferred food. So I've been eating matoke for, I think, since I was born. I've been enjoying matoke. But Madame Janet told me that the food list could go in symbiosis with the mixture. Then I persisted, but after a short time, then I tried such that I could leave the matok. When I left the matok and I followed the food list, then I got more better, and now even I'm more better. I'm getting better every day. Even though I'm working very hard, but I'm just getting better and better.
Tell us the story of your son.
The son. Yes, my son was disturbing me. In fact, every time I could take him to the hospital, they could just say that he has got infection, he's diureting, vomiting with some swellings on the skin. But when I tried that mixture again, it's because I had took it at home. Then for the first 2 days, he could just bring more swellings on the skin. But after then he's now better and
new aspirations, new energy, and new mental state of consciousness, definitely. If you have any comments, questions, please leave them down under the comments. We are going to reply. This is a big topic that can change your life and the life of your family. In a broader perspective, it could change the life of a whole society. Because a healthy society, can you imagine a healthy society without addictions, without diseases? That's the future, if you follow the guidelines. See you next time. Thank you for watching. If you like it, make a thumbs up.
And please tell a friend to tell a friend. Always share knowledge, and let's wipe away the ignorances. When we wipe the ignorances, we lessen the effects. Thank you.